Come on in the house. We're gonna see if we're gonna cut some pots. Got a few parts redrawn. Got them for the weight. Go ahead and cut these other parts. I got a leak. You see that? I got a leak. They just give you these screws. What's up, TJ? They just give you these They give you screws like this right here with washers. The screw down to the table. It's leaking. We'll figure out where that's at. But nevertheless, it's all good. Went down there to the pile. This is a piece of 3/16 flat bar. We're gonna. You caught me napping. Well, that's good. We're about to see what we can do. So, the first piece that we're gonna cut, we'll let a few more people get in here. First piece we're gonna cut is yeah, it's been going crazy, TJ. It's okay. I've noticed in the last 3 or 4 weeks that the algorithm's down really, really bad. And it's just the networks and stuff are down. I mean, it says there's 84 people in here, but there's only 2 people. Only 2 people talking. So we're gonna do this floor patch. I redrew it up. So here it is, right there. What's up, Gary? Yeah, we're gonna redo this floor patch. The table's leaking. It's just got Tech screws that hold it down. See, it's just got Tech screws. So maybe one of the washers are bad or something. It ain't no big deal. Yeah, it sure did. But I ain't gonna wait on it. I'm gonna go ahead and do what I gotta do. So I squared this up. So a square to the table or square to the box. And we're gonna cut this piece. You notice the other piece, I had that notch. Y'all notice that other piece, I had that notch. I took that notch out because I'm gonna mount the shifter on top, not on bottom. I was thinking about mounting it on the bottom side because you can turn these brackets. You can turn these brackets where they mount at the bottom. So I just changed it up, just redrew it up. Now I could have tucked this one. And welded that back in there. You know, I could have welded that back and it been done, but nevertheless, it's all right. So got everything squared up, ready to go. So we're gonna put it on dry run. We're gonna do it on a dry run, make sure everything's good to go. Zero all axis. All axis are zeroed. We got it homed right there. So everybody hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, share it. We're just gonna do a dry run right now, and then we'll do it for real. So we're gonna start the dry run. Yeah, the dry run. What's up, Mac? Mac, I've already drew up LS engine stand to pull LS out of a car. The lifting thing, I done drew that. I drew this. I redone these other brackets. You just wait, I'll show you. So we're gonna cut. Can't stay hitting the light button. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's a plasma. Andrew Martinez. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We're making a patch panel for a 63 Impala. for the shifter. And I'll go out there and I'll show you. All right, so the dry run's done. Everything's good to go. Hit close. We're gonna go back to work 0. That's home. We told it where home's at. Why the metal look so busted? I don't know. I didn't know. I don't know what that means. All right, now we're gonna do it for real. Y'all boys and girls ready? Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Yeah, I mean, over time, yeah, it'll cut these. I mean, over time, but you just replace them. I mean, you just replace them. Well, that's nice. That cut real nice. So let me show you what the first one was. Yeah, the first one. So I'll show you what this goes to. Just hang tight. Let me show you. So the first one I made, well, we made, the first one we made was this one. And I cut it out like that. And then we rolled the pieces in the pipe roller. This is a little pipe roller. Gene Winfield, we miss you, buddy, but you lived to be 98 years old. So we just took this and you just keep working it. And you put the roll in it on both sides. And like that. And this, no, I don't care nothing for a nice car. This was for the shifter, right? So this was for the shifter that I was gonna mount underneath the tunnel. Then I changed my mind and I could have welded this piece back. I could have welded that in there and cut that out, but I just made a whole nother one. So this is actually going to go in there like so. And I'm gonna show you what it's gonna go. I'm showing you what it goes in. So let's go out here and I'll show you. So this Impala, somebody put a floor shifter in it at one time. And let me get the light for you. Let me get the light for you. I'll show you what they did on this Impala. I don't know why they did it on this Impala, but they did it on this Impala. So y'all hang tight right there and I'll show you. You see where they cut the tunnel? They just butchered it, right? So here's the piece that I made. This is the first piece I made. We was gonna cut the floor out, and then mount the shifter underneath. I just didn't like that. So with that being said, that being said, so I just made another one, and then we'll roll this one, and then the shifter will actually drop down in the hole, and then I will, it's hard to do this one-handed. So basically what we'll do is we'll mount the shifter like that. All right, what's up, square body? So the shifter will be mounted like this, like that. And what we'll do is we'll drill holes. We'll drill holes first, and then we'll weld nuts to the bottom for nut, so we can put bolts in there. And then we'll roll this piece. We'll roll this piece to match the tunnel, and then we'll be good to go. Does that make sense? Anybody got any questions on that? If not, we're gonna go on to the next part. We're gonna go on to the next thing. So this is what we'll do like that. So this piece here, this piece will be rolled, and this will be rolled to fit the contour of the tunnel, and then we'll cut the old piece out and we'll weld this piece in after we drill holes here, and then we'll weld nuts. We'll weld nuts to the bottom. We'll weld nuts to the bottom of the metal, so you can just run bolts right through the top. So that's that. Now let me show you the other piece. Now let me live with you for a second. 87, did you see that, 87? 87, did you see that? Or do you want me to do a replay? 87, you see it? What's up, Nathan? What's up, Gary, Square Body, TJ, Mac? Okay, all right, cool. All right, cool. Bet. All right, so here's the second part. Here's the second part, boys, girls, ladies, and gentlemen. So these are LS mounts that actually actually 87SS, I think, told me about them. I think, not sure. These were for OG6. This bolts to a 6.0, 5.3, 6.2. And then this bolts into this bolts right there. That goes right there. All right, ever how you want to put it, that's where that goes, right? Well, unfortunately, boys and girls, unfortunately, this does not mount up to a LT. This does not mount up to a LT engine. So what old Jay did today, well, there's a lot of stuff I did. So what I did was I went down there and I measured that LT engine, that 2018 LT, and it's 6.5 inches across, 5 inches down. The holes are 3/8. I just went a little bit heavier. 3/8 is 0.375. I went 0.40. The bolt centers are 4 3/4 on the center line, and they're 3 5/8 center line this way, right? And the other piece right here, I'm gonna make this piece too, right? You see how they keyed it right there, and then they welded it. I actually slotted the holes. So right here, let me show you. I've already drew the part up, but we're gonna cut that bad boy right here. LT engine mounts. Open. Bam! Right there they are, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Right there they are, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. So we're good to go. Looks like everything's there. We're going to have to change. So I'm going to make these out of 3/16. But here's the cool thing. Here's the wild part. This is 3/16 flat bar. That's 1/8 inch. This is 3/16 flat bar. The crazy thing about it is that sun gun's got a little bit of arch to it. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to put it on the table, This thing's 8 foot long. We're gonna put it on the table, and we're gonna put this weight on it right here. We're gonna put this weight on it to hold it down, and then we're gonna cut the parts out. I don't know how we're gonna do that, boys and girls. I'm gonna have to rotate my part to get in there. So let me set this camera up, and we're gonna figure this out together. Cause I got a bunch of metal. But the thing about it is, it's all different kinds of pieces. Let me take my hat off. I can't be messing my hat up. All right, we're gonna see if this works. We're gonna try it together. We're gonna square up the metal. Now here's the crazy part. JG, I can bring you 12 by 12 and 3/16. Well, I mean, you don't have to, Nathan. I mean, that's up to you. I mean, don't you live pretty good way? I mean, you more than welcome to bring it if you. I mean, now we're gonna have to figure out. Hold on a second. We're going to have to, I don't know how to rotate the part. I've never had to. Scale and rotate. Okay, right here, scale and rotate. We want to rotate it. We want to rotate it 90 degrees, don't we? Ha ha! All right, now I got to set the origin. Boy, you can't tell me. No, I'm just messing with you. Ha ha! We got it rotated. What's up? What's up? It's free cutoffs from my work. Well, I mean, I pay for them. I mean, I ain't trying to get nothing for free. I mean, just text me, man. You got my number. Just text me and we'll talk about it. All right. Now, here's the sucky part of this. We're going to have to, we just have to do what we have to do. You know, we just have to, what's up, Infamous? I'll catch up with everybody in just a second. Just hang tight. We're just gonna, it's just gonna be where it's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna re-zero it. We're gonna tell it where it's at. We're gonna get it close to the edge as possible. I got the tolerance cut down. All right, so since we moved it, we're gonna zero all axis. All right, so now it should cut the part this way. Right, it should cut the part this way. I know when I run the machine at the old, where I worked at that old shop, it runs Sigma-ness. You could actually turn the plasma on and manually cut something. Like if I needed to cut something off, I just hadn't figured that out yet, but we'll get there. All right, so we're gonna turn this off because we don't need that no more. We're gonna go to dry run. We're gonna hit dry run. So what we're cutting out is I'm cutting these out because this fits a LS and I need it to fit a LT. So I got the measurements off that LT engine, that 4.3 V6 out of that 2018. And I drew them up, and then I have to draw these up. And then you see how they got it keyed where it's dropped in and welded. So I didn't get these drawn up because I drew a LS engine mount, you know, to pull the engine, LS engine, to pull it out of something. Like the carburetor mount, you take the intake off and then bolt this bracket down and pick it up. So we'll cut that out too. Not tonight, but we'll just see what happens. So we're gonna do a test run. We're gonna do dry. We're gonna see what happens. It says it's 8-minute cut time. Well, not 8 minutes. If y'all new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I greatly appreciate it. I'm just hoping that don't fold down and pick up when it cuts across her and gets it weak. You know what I'm saying? But we'll just see what happens. All right. So if it does, we'll stop it. So we finished the dry run, hit close. Now we're gonna go back to zero. Go back to work zero. Tell it to go home. So there it went back to home. Oh yeah, infamous. Oh yeah, you know it, buddy. I used to run one years ago, but it was a 20-foot by 20-foot table at K&M Machine when I worked there a little bit. And it was a 200 amp. This is a 50 amp. And it was Sigma-ness. So it's been a while. So here we go, boys and girls. Whether it works or not, we're going to do it together. Here we go. Bam! That son of a gun fell out like nobody's business. Boy, that thing cutting like butter, boy. Yes, sir. All right, I'm afraid to send it back home. All right, we're good shape. All right, so let's get this out. It shouldn't be hot. No. Boy. It might have cut it a little crooked because it was, no, it did pretty, it did good. But you know, it started lifting up. So what we'll do is I'll take the cutoff wheel. We'll pull this out. We'll take the cutoff wheel and we'll cut it. We'll cut it off there and then we'll slide that up flat. So basically, let me go over here and that's how much it was off. See, this is for LS, and that's what I bought these for. I was gonna put a LS and OG6, but now we're putting an LT in there, so the engine mounts are different. So this would bolt up right to an LS engine. So see how much the holes was different, and then I keyed it the same way they keyed theirs. And then tomorrow I'll draw these up and cut. I could cut these off, but I don't want to mess these up. But tomorrow I'll draw these up, and then we'll drop them down in them holes, and then we'll weld this up, and then that will be that. That will be the bracket. Yeah, it hardly. And I'm still working on it, Nathan. I mean, I'm still working on the cut speed. Here's the cool thing about it. Johnny Be Good at Langmuir, he actually give me, well, I mean, he just helped me out. He went in there and he put in all of the parameters for all metal, all stainless, aluminum, and carbon steel, all the way up to 5/8 plate. This machine will cut up to 5/8 plate. And he told me, he said, you might have to tweak the inches by minute. I think this is supposed to be 70 inches a minute. It looks like it's pretty square, honestly, with very little slag. And if you know anything, I shouldn't do that on my table. If you know anything about slag, I mean, you can literally just tap it just a little bit and clean it right on up. I mean, we can knock the slag off of it right here. I got a sanding wheel. Make new ones, keep those. Oh yeah, the other ones is for an LS. And that engine that we picked up the other day, it's a LT, so they're not the same. But absolutely, Gary, absolutely. I mean, the hose is not, the holes are not sharp on the edges or nothing. All right, so let me get a cutoff wheel and we'll go over there and we'll trim that other one. and we'll go ahead and cut that other one off, and we'll go from there. So, like I say, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. It don't cost you a dime, I promise you. And yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. All right, let me set y'all up right here. Y'all just hang tight. These are these wheels from Harbor Freight. Look, they're threaded. Look. Since we can lay it in here long ways, see if I can put a little, let's see if I can put a little flex on it, just try to straighten it out a little bit. This stuff got a little scale on it too. All right, so let me square it up. 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, 7.5. 7.5, 7.5, 3.5, 3.5. We're good to go, boys and girls. All right, now I'm gonna have to put this thing. This thing goes. It's got a timer on. I'm gonna have to turn the timer off. All right, so we're gonna cut one more out. Y'all hit the like and subscribe. So this is the. I still got to put the cover on it. This is the Crossfire Pro. This is the 4-foot by 3-foot table with the height control, the limit switches. And when I bought this for my son, for his business, we're gonna cut a logo out for him and I hang on the wall. This is a 45, this is a 50 amp plasma. Now they got a 100 amp. Well, they call it a cut 45 is what they call it. So you go right here and we go to file. We're gonna open up LT engine mounts, hit OK. There it is. Now it's where it's supposed to be long ways because we closed it out. So now let's put the, now we have to, this right here is inch by minutes or inch by minute is what that is. So we're gonna run it and we're gonna center it up. And you can put it wherever you want to start it, but when I learned on that other machine, I learned top left, top left was starting point, and it's just muscle memory. I guess you could put it wherever you wanted to, I guess. Now, if I was cutting multiples of these, like say if we was gonna cut both of them right now, I can come down here at the bottom. All right, now since I'm telling this is home, right, this is home, you have to come up here and zero all axis. Zero all axis and see this is where we start. And then this is, the blue button is go home. So let's say if I was to run it back across, and it's not at home, and I wanted to start back at home, you come over here and you hit go to work 0, and it takes it back to home. Now, if we wanted to cut multiples, you come down here and hit that, and then I could come right here and click one row. Hold on a second. No, back one row, and then total number of parts. Then I'd change it right here that I want 2 parts cut. And what it would do, it would mirror image another part. Or I could just cut as many as I wanted to cut. But we're only gonna cut 1. So that's that. And then right here's the delay and all this. I'm not changing that because I'm okay with it right now. So let's go up here and hit dry run, right? We're gonna do dry run just to make sure, right? Just to make sure. Yeah, duplicates. Yeah, I could cut as many as I could nest as many as I wanted. They have a solution that you can put in this water and it keeps it from getting stagnated. I know up there at that other shop where I worked up there, that table was huge and it would take all day on Saturday to clean it. And you had to clean it once a month and get all the slag out of it and throw it in I mean, you'd look like you was working in a coal mine. And that water would stink so bad. They wouldn't buy the chemicals to put in it, and I would buy Clorox and pour Clorox in it because, man, that thing was a mosquito-infested nest, boy. That sun gonna have mosquitoes in it forever. But on this one, I'll show you when it gets done with a dry run. I'll get all this water out. I'll suck it out with a vacuum cleaner. And then what I want to do is I want to put some quarter-turn pawl valves on the bottom of it. I'll show you. All right, so we're good to go on there. And if I'd have known now what I know now, I would have welded this together instead of siliconing it like the instruction says. I would have TIG welded this together. But right there, you can see it has the drains. There's the drains right there. And then I'll just drain it in the bucket. Yeah, so I could nest as many as I wanted, Nathan. Like if I had a whole piece up here, say I had a 3 foot by 3 foot piece, I could nest as many as I wanted and cut. I could cut, as many as I could get. All right, so now we're gonna go back and go to work 0. I gotta get some consumables too. I got a little bit over there, but I ain't, they said you get a lot out of one. So there's that. Y'all hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I'd greatly appreciate it if you're new to the channel. I'm going to try to start probably first of the week. I have a TikTok page too, but on the TikTok page, probably just, I don't know yet. I ain't decided. But anyway, so here we go, boys and girls. Here we go. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, Nathan, and when I get faster on drawing parts, it'll be good too. Somebody was asking about smoke earlier. I got a fan right there, see? All right, it's all done. Tell it to go home. Boy, that fell out like nobody's business, didn't it? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I probably could slow it down some. It's at 70. It's at 70 inches a minute. I could probably slow it down a little bit. I could probably change the kerf a little bit. But I mean, there's my lead in right there. Let me turn this fan off. All right, so right there, that's my lead in right there. So I need to adjust my lead in kerf just a little bit. I got it set at 0.196. You see how it's got a little notch right there? And you see on this one right here, see, that's my lead in. So I'm gonna have to change the lead in and the lead out just a little bit so it don't mess. I mean, but it's all right. I mean, it ain't gonna make no difference. But let's look at this piece right here. Now, I didn't make this. I bought this a long time ago, but I won't buy no more. So if you look right there, that's the lead in. So I need to change the lead in a little bit. But on the holes, did really, really good on the holes. They look good and square. The edges look good and square. So when I make these pieces, they're gonna drop down. These pieces are gonna drop down into that like that. See that? They'll drop down. They'll drop down in that, and then I can weld them. I can weld them around. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split the difference. So whatever the height of this is, I can't remember off the top of my head, but from here, whatever the height this is, plus that, which is 3/16, I'm gonna take half of it off. So I'm gonna subtract the material thickness so it doesn't set all the way flush on the bottom. So it'll just be just half of 3/16, right? And then I'll put a tack here and a tack here. And then I'll make sure it's square and plumb, and then put the piece in there and bolt the piece in, right? So the piece that actually goes in there. What you doing, fat boy? Here it is. Well, come on. So before I weld it up solid, I will bolt this piece back in there. I'll bolt that back in there, and I'll make sure it's bolted in so it's square, and then I'll square it this way, and then I'll tack it in all four corners. Then I'll flip it over, and then I'll do a corner weld. If you don't know what a corner weld is you don't go all the way down like that. A corner weld is where you split the difference like that, and then you weld it all the way across. And then I'll weld that in, and we'll smooth that flat. So when it bolts up to the block, it's welded on the back side, and it's welded all the way around. I'd weld them out the bottom myself. That's just me. Yeah, I was thinking about that too, Nathan. I was thinking about just welding them here, and then you wouldn't have no welds up here. But I don't know how much force. I mean, it can't come out because it's keyed. I mean, for sure. But I don't know if it's in there like that, and I weld it in from the bottom. Should I weld it around the edge? See, they didn't weld it on the bottom. They probably got a jig for these things that bolts to a table, and then they just pumping them out. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So I'm gonna corner. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm gonna subtract the thickness of the material, suck this back up, and then I'm gonna corner weld it on the bottom, and I'm gonna turn the heat up. But after everything is squared up and plumbed up. So I don't have to make this. I just got to make this. So, yeah. So that worked out pretty good, boys and girls. I appreciate everything. I appreciate everybody on here. Hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're supposed to have a frost tonight. I don't know about you, Nathan. I know you in North Carolina too, but we're supposed to have a frost. So I did see something on this software. This software is a free version. It's for personal use only. If you get the commercial version, you can go in there and do your bill. Now I can put the drawings on a piece of on a file and print them off like like a blueprint file. But I think once they're saved on the computer, I got to mess around with it some. Once they're saved on the computer, I think I can delete them in Fire Pro and Fire Pro 360, because I've drew like 4 or 5 parts today that I drew up, and then when I drew those last parts, it says you've reached your limit of cut files, but it says that I can turn them into a read-only file, and I can keep cutting or keep drawing parts. So I got to do some reading on that as well. But for that, if he buys the software where it's like the billable software, it will tell you how much it costs to cut the part. So, for example, let's just say it took 10 minutes to cut a part, which, I mean, that's a big ass part, but a lot of details. Let's say it took 10 minutes cut time, and the shop rate was $100 an hour. So you would divide $100 an hour divided by 60 minutes, and then you would multiply that number times 10 minutes, and that will give you the time that it costs for that machine to run. So I watched the guy last night on YouTube, and he said that he paid for the version that what's up, Cars? He paid for the subscription, and he figured it all out, and then he put the information out there at free, and then he canceled his membership and dropped back down to the other one. So what I'm going to do is, let's say his shop rate's $100, because this is my son's NGO designs. I'm going to use it, but let's just say shop rate's $100 an hour. I'm going to get the sign place to make a grid on the wall that breaks it down by the minute. So this software, if you buy this software, like the full version, the business side of it, it tells you if it pierces one time, pierce time, 20 seconds, whatever it is, and then the cut time, and then when it's done, it tells you the material, how much material you use. It drops you a spreadsheet all the way down to the bottom. So if you used 9 square foot of material, and say the material was $20 a square, so you say 20 times 9, that's $180 in material. Let's say it cut 10 minutes, it's $100 an hour. You take 10 minutes or $100 divided into 60 minutes, get that number, multiply that number times 10 minutes, that's your labor. Then your drawing time, let's say you had an hour in drawing, that's an hour draw time. So you got 180 material. Let's just say you got $40 in cut time, and then you got $100. So we're just making even $20 cut time. So 20 and 80, that's 180 and 20, that's 200. And then you got $100 an hour. It took you an hour to draw the part. That's $300 in labor. That's $300 in labor, parts, and materials, and out the door. Bam. So I'm very excited for him. So, like I said, we're going to cut a logo out and we're going to hang it on the wall. I'm going to take some of this stuff down. I'm going to leave the danger on there. There's my other Sigma net. There's my Google Nest that Cars told me about. So there's one here, there's one outside, and there's one down at the paint booth. So I'm going to move these signs. Oh yeah, I'm going to move this stuff here, and then we're going to, I got some more 18 gauge over there. I'm going to draw his logo up. We got a little logo, just something simple. Cut his logo out, put it up on the wall, and then go from there. Also, I drew a bracket to get the plasma up off the floor. I'm probably going to change this receptacle out and put a bigger receptacle because the internet is plugged up right there and only got one plug there. This plug here, I don't know what I put that plug in there for. It's been a long time, but I need to check that. So I might be able to change that plug where I can plug the unit and the laptop up to here. Cars, this is what I was telling you about. I've been standing right there all day, brother. I've been standing there all day. So what I could probably do, see, and like you said, Cars, this is a USB cable, and it's not real long. So I could take this and drop it down and then put a chair right here. So, yeah, so that's that. If anybody ain't got no questions, we've been on here 55 minutes. Y'all know I like to keep 60-minute lives. I greatly appreciate everybody tapping in. I appreciate everybody that has contributed to the channel in different ways. It's very thankful, very, very thankful. So try Team Viewer to remote control the laptop from another computer. Well, this is the only computer that I got. This is the only one that I have, Cars. So, and see this cord right here plugs in to this right here, the USB input. That's where it gets its program. That's how this knows to run. It's plugged in right there, and that's the cord. So if I drop this down, then I could get like a bar stool or something and set on it, and it would be fine. But I got to change this receptacle out and put another receptacle there so I can plug up the laptop and the processor. The plasma is plugged up over here. I got these are two 240 connectors. So this is for the plasma, and also I got a 40-foot drop cord for my welder and my TIG rig. So pull it across there. But yeah. See, right here at this corner area used to be my fabrication corner. I used to have a table and my welders and stuff was here. This was for all the grinding. That's why I got metal on the wall. I could take this table and slide it in that corner a little bit further. I could do that since now we're up and running. Oh yeah, and I gotta get a T for my airline and bring the T down and put a connection there just for the plasma. Right now I got it hooked up through the airline. I got it hooked up to the airline. I need to have its own station right here where I can just plug up the air to it. But since where it's at, there's a lot of guys I seen on YouTube last night, they put theirs on wheels where they could roll it in and roll it out. But I ain't trying to worry about that crap. But what we can do is I can get my son out here tomorrow and we can push the table in the corner just to give me enough room to get in here and get to the back. And we'll go from there. See, there's another receptacle there and there's another receptacle there. But I could take the Google Nest and I could move it over here because I got plenty of cable, and I could plug up the Google Nest into that receptacle, and then that would open up that receptacle, and I'd have two plugs. Bam. your Uber's here. Your Uber's here. Bam. Took care of that. Took care of that. And then I can start cutting out more of these. And these, look, I cut these out at my old job. Yeah, we'll talk about it, cars. We'll talk about it. Look at that. Look at that. I cut that. Look at that. Long time ago. A buddy cut that out for me and brought it to me. Look, it says, I need to take that off and move it over there. It says, Master Owen Carter Green. And it has Owen sitting on a dandelion or a sunflower, and then me in the pond fishing. Somebody made that for me and brought it to me when Owen died. So, yeah, we'll talk about it, cars. We'll chew the fat on that. So, boys and girls, I appreciate every single one of you. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I know everybody's YouTube has been kind of slow because cars can answer that question. The internet is gone batshit crazy bananas. Everything's slow. People's not getting notification. I think it was what, AWS was down. It's just a lot of stuff is. Oh, cars is the damn computer network, damn security system, satellite installer. He is the goddamn guru on that stuff and a lot more other stuff. I'm not even going to get into it on that. Cars can tell that whenever he wants to, but I'll tell it. I'll tell this part. Cars is the damn guru on computer network and stuff, and building software through network and Ethernet. He is the damn cat's meow. Yeah. Cars, I will say this about cars. I won't put all of his information out there because I got a whole bunch of that shit right here in the back of my head. But anything security related, like video, cameras, security system, key swipe cards, Starlink, any of that shit that runs Home Depots, Lowe's, Foot Locker, all their credit card machines, all that jumbo bumbo shit. Cars is the damn cat's meow. He's the cat's meow. Cat's meow. Cat's meow. What? I seen Carolina Big. Didn't I see Carolina Big? Yeah. So that's that. So boys and girls, we've been on here 60 minutes. I greatly appreciate it. I'm probably going to cut something else out just for a short, but I greatly appreciate everybody. Remember I said boys, remember I said boys and girls? Oh yeah. Yes, sir. Remember I said boys and girls, don't worry about the man up the road or down the road. Sweep off and on front. Oh, there you are, Carolina Big. I appreciate everybody. Nathan, Carolina Big, Cars in the Cut, Gary. Who else is in here? I don't think there's many people left in here that's talking. All I see, Carlos. Team Schaefer, Infamous Nova, Juan, Joe, I appreciate you being in here. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Nathan, about that 3/16 plate, let me know, man. Just text me. 87 SS, square body, I think that's it. TJ, I think that's it, yeah. All right, boys and girls, I appreciate every single one of you. I'm going to cut one more piece out just for a video, and then I'm going to wipe the rails down and clean everything up. I appreciate every single one of you, boys and girls. Remember what I said. Don't worry about the man up the road or down the road. Sweep off your own front porch while sweeping off anybody else's. Put God first, loose and dry. Peace, up, and chicken grease. I'm out.